Marty Schwartz here from GuitarJams.com. I've got the very talented and classy Tim Pierce hanging out in the studio right now. That's a good introduction.
Yeah,
you are classy. You're class act.
I need to tell my wife I'm classy.
He is. So I think what would be really cool is to show the people out there maybe how you would think of a simple chord and turning it into something more sophisticated.
Yeah, I'll just plant my finger somewhere and embellish around it. It's something I do all the time. Absolutely.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So a lot of the songs I play on are very simple. So they might be G to D to C. Might be an A minor in there. Might be an E minor. So in the key of G, I see G lots of places on the guitar. You know, it happens a lot of places. When I started out a few minutes ago, I started up here at the 12th fret just by barring my finger across here, these three strings. And what that gives you is the ability to then add notes. As long as you're holding these three strings down, the D string, the G string, and the B string on the 12th fret with your index finger, you can take your extra fingers and do really kind of melodic little chordal things, and all the notes ring together really nicely. We have G5, and then down 2 frets, G suspended, back to straight G. You can put your finger in there, the camera sees better like that. Another good one, the 6. And your job in this situation is to have enough pressure to keep that held down. That's the trick. You got to ask your hand to hurt a little bit and keep that held down. And then we get into the really good Hendrix thing, which I've jumped over, and now I'm muting the adjacent, not muting, I am barring the adjacent 3 strings. And then I bring that beautiful 3rd up there. And if you can, your little finger, and then I bring my index finger. See, that was just a shift from these 3 strings on the inside to these 3. This one starts on the A string, this one starts on the D string. So that's one place G is. I see it lots of other places too. I see it here. So it's that D chord just brought up here. It's that shape. But in order to get some freedom and some extra fingers in the game, I'll play it like this, and I'll bar across right here with my index finger. So I'm barring on that's the 7th fret. And then I form the chord with my 2nd finger, and then I do the G sus here. I mash it down and do a bar. And that G2 is a really good one. That's just 2 notes. So the idea is to make music out of it, and I'll try and demonstrate that. Or up here.
That's not your friendly neighborhood beginner G chord now, was it?
No, it isn't. But its origins are friendly and simple. I mean.
Oh yeah. I have a question. So that was those 2 little spots that you were doing. Those were both right.
Yeah.
You're thinking of that as G major.
Yeah.
Let's do that, but then add a chord. Let's add D major, and so then show where those 2 zones are, and then maybe you can do something together.
That's a really good one. We'll do it here because this is a good spot for it. So we have this G chord right here, and all we have to do is jump with our index finger and bar here, much like we did up here. It's just down here. So here's our first G chord, and we take our index finger on these 3 strings. It's the D, the G, and the B string. Now we have an anchor for playing in D. So if the chords of the song are G to D, I can go to D. Back to G. And then this gives you a kind of look into the U2 Coldplay way of playing guitar, which is in the Coldplay way, you're kind of doing downstroke. And And then with U2, you have your delay on, and you're going. So here's the G, and the variations that happen around it, and here's the D, and the variations that happen around it.
Beautiful. Great stuff. And then let's say you went up to A, third one. Then
Okay.
what?
We'll do the G and the D, and really the smoothest way to grab A is right here. Okay, so if we have G right here, same one we just did, D right here, the same one we did here, the easiest A to grab is just to take these two fingers, take your third finger on the third string, the G string.
Yeah.
I guess it's the 9th fret, and then take your little finger on the 10th fret on the B string.
Oh, yeah.
That is an A that's easy to grab. See, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep smooth connective tissue between these. You've landed there, it's pretty hard to go up here to these upper strings, but if you're... That one's a little hard, but you can go down. That's a typical passage I would use when going from D to A. So I'm in D, and then it's easy to grab this A. It's really an A5 chord, and then I switched to 2 strings rather than 3. That's a sweet. That's a U2. Back to D. Back to A. D. To G.
Beautiful. Oh, I love when I get something, you know. I'm getting some info here.
And it happens all over the neck. You know, there's G here, D here, A here. One of the great things to do with G is just use the open string. Because if you're ringing that open string, you have lots of freedom to move around. Same with the D. Open D string. And then where would I go for A? I'm not sure. In this case, I'm doing something tricky, which is I'm muting that D, but this stuff happens all over the neck.